Here's another what the Fukushima. Hell Naraha. Every day you just wake up and it just keeps getting worse. There's always a story coming out of Fukushima. It just blew my mind. And I thought you should see this. This is out of the People's Voice newspaper by Hiroki. The national highway in the criticism, the risk of the internal exposure leaking in the shadow of the implementation has been cleaned by the volunteers. Children are used in the cleanup efforts on this highway, and most of these children, I looked at a picture, I saw about 30 kids, and I saw about 2 kids out of those 30 that were wearing masks. And this is, I guess, a major highway that the kids use to get to their school. How many of them were even wearing gloves? Junior and senior high school students was growing criticism to participate cleaning. Volunteer Hachi-hen cleaned 6 country with everyone. Sponsors such as the NPO Happy LoadNet, Fukushima Prefecture, Hamadori The Run National Highway 6, Shinichi Town, Iwaki City were conducted simultaneously around 50 kilometers. If you walk the Hironi-cho and the Naraha, along with your junior and senior high school students, children's denied the fear of exposure. Smiled a proud expression in that it has joined, while dancing with the suicidal dust. Fukushima. What the Fukushima? Some children continue to pick up trash without mask. However, to say that in consideration of the risk of internal exposure lurking on the other side of that smile, a child should not have to participate. Yeah, out there I'll be frowning, I won't be smiling, I'll tell you that right now. The solar dust also masks not child. The essay local, it said danger of exposure. You want to join us? What the Fukushima? There is no anxiety at all. Was also not able to be stopped from parents. So the parents were told to what the fuck off of the Futaba High School, which participated with a friend schoolgirl, laughed and smiled. Although work gloves and masks were distributed at the reception, which also did not wear. Okay. Come on, go. Dump truck is bringing the dance to the dust. Dance to the devil's dust. Ring around the reactors and we all fall down. AKA KB. If you tell it as radioactive material is not careful, also would inhale together. Yeah, let's inhale it together, not alone. Don't inhale alone. She had just the wry smile and cocking his head as, Junior high school students of the boys soccer team who participated in the uniform appearance says that J Village on the back, radioactive village, should be our village. It picks up one after the other trash at the top of the ranks. Quickly bag was full. It enters the Hell Naraha from the Fukushima Park. If the station of the old road, which currently is used as the What the Fukushima Prefecture Police Futaba Police Station over on the signal before, and return again to the Fukushima Park to the front of our village, Radiation Village. Initially, children were explanation that does not enter into the town of Hell Naraha. Almost half the children walk the sidewalk along the national highway without wearing a mask. First year of junior high school boy named from the Okumomaki, we encountered a huge swing on the way home and from school because the radiation dose is high. Even one since then, the Okumomachi no go home and speak lonely. He also including children of aware the risk of exposure was none. 0. They're telling these kids they have 0 risk of exposure. Don't wear the mask, there's 0 risk. Anyone who participated also is proud. And another schoolgirl spoke happily that, I want to participate in the volunteer activity. It was speech at the Futaba High School boy also asked to be able to come to this place was really good. The opening ceremony, Indo Satoshi Haroni, mayor is said to be Hamadori, becomes the opportunity to send to a whole country that the revived. On the other side of the children's sense of fulfillment and the adult satisfaction, the risk of exposure is lurking. Do not forget the Dale. Yeah, do not forget. Never forget what happened here. They're being used as experiment, and worse than that, because they already done experiments, they know. So, looking here, you see it. These kids are 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old. Not even that, really. They're given plastic bags. Okay, I see some wearing gloves at least. Really, they should be wearing masks. And a lot of these type of masks, these little dollar masks, they're not going to take out some of the finer radioactive particulates. Anyway. But as you see, there's only one kid here. That might be a mask right there. That's all I see of kids wearing masks. Junior and senior high school students and even cleaning volunteer, everyone who participated Hachi-hen cleaned 6 country our village neighborhood of Naraha. The hand of the dosimeter exceeded 0.3 unisieverts per hour. Unresponsive person is a fuss in Tokyo. There are a variety of opinion. The original Yomiko President Nishimoto of the NPO Happy LoadNet, upon resuming the cleaning of the volunteers of the National Highway number 666 that has been suspended since 2011, critics of the participating of children received more than a little of that. Yoshida Glory, what the Fukushima Prefecture, the Liberal Democratic Party, NAMI, also mentioned, I think whatever you alone are a variety of opinion and greeting called Karoyami projected to protect the health and future of our children is when you express opposition to the junior and senior high school students of the participation. There was a contact of support from the organizations around the country, about 70. However, Nishimoto President, I the children to the cleaning. I am people, no school route. National Route 6 does not understand at all, you do not think? Local no Nanti has become the high school route is a fuss in Tokyo. I came back to Hirono-cho. Convince yourself today was the children who participated. I think came out with terrible disgust at home. On the other hand, Biyada the Toko or bad surroundings, I as good can we think with. Even I'm sorry to bother with aunt is hit because of home and through thank you from the boys of the Somo High School that made the opportunity to resume the cleaning volunteers had been suffering in tears. Try actually doing children also would have that notice or a wide variety. It is I, education, adults by their confident assertion, saying, it's no good doing. Standing children are not convinced. For many years with the education theory of Nishimoto President Nari, which has contact with the children, the risk of the actual exposure is not taken into consideration. It also should that last year in March, in a sentence that was closer to the Nishio News of the Japan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and is spelled this way on the basis of the Chernobyl tour that went through September. Information now for Japan on radiation is full of prejudice. If the nuclear power plant even stable, habitable, our hometown with confidence, what handicapped without? You need to evacuate Fukushima, evacuate Tokyo. You need to get as far away from Fukushima as you can in Japan. And even then, Kids doing the cleanup, guys. Most of them were not wearing masks. Yomiko President Nishimoto of the NPO on the photo far left is children are participating to discuss parent and terrible. I was talking to can, not be yada all means, and I'm against it. Kyoto, do not to mobilize children. And doing it is what not to do. Newspaper, whereas the original Kyoto University Research Reactor Institute assistant professor of Hiroki Coyote, 66 organizers have asked the pros and cons to the fact that join the junior and senior high school students in cleaning volunteer. Coyote was asked by email comments to be wrong. March 11, 2011, that night, nuclear emergency declaration has been issued. Declaration has not been released yet. The country of Japan, now under emergency situation. Therefore, even a variety of laws and regulations related to exposure of Fukushima is that be not protected, including the children. I have been abandoned in the land that must be in the radiation-controlled area and would otherwise, that once discarded been people, have no choice but to live here. I want to clean somehow their land, and it became beautiful and brought me to Fukushima. Things you will want to really say, the feelings I understand. However, in order that, for example, we want to appeal to school meals to erase local production, or it's wrong to mobilize children for the pollution to move at this time. Children to do not have any responsibility to the nuclear accident is very sensitive to the radiation exposure. Even as an adult to the exposure, children just must be protected from this exposure. We know that kids are a lot more sensitive to radiation. A fetus is 1,000 times more sensitive to radiation. And they figured that out eventually when these mothers were getting x-rays on the baby, and they found out, oops, we just found out that just raised the cancer risk 50% for each one they were getting. Even as adults to exposure, children just must be protected from this exposure. Adults should protect the child's life. However, female teachers who led the high school students, as the students are invited to participate through the teacher consent from the parents, do. Well, is the danger exposure? I want to cheer that one children's to do. Talked. Male teacher, the Futaba future. What the Futaba future? The Gaiken High School. Normally here I'll live on, and anxiety is not. The people of the whole country, I want you to look at the true figure, he said. Of course, freedom is participation. You are free to get exposure. Some do not even. Children that went to the radiation village in the nuclear accident did on. Such event was talk that he wanted to have a sense of belonging. I want to belong to the radiation. With regard to exposure, I think there may be a variety of opinion. Even in other prefectures' football teams, it seems also to be abandoned by the parents, who oppose that some expedition to the Fukushima. During cleaning from the police car passing by the Fukushima Prefecture Police, it is the cheers for their hard work. Police officers and call for a microphone to the children, call of, so as not to inhale radioactive material. Unfortunately not, while saying that, respect the diverse opinion. Yes, respect their opinion. The actual exposure problem in its reality is hardly discussed. Hardly discussed. The radiation exposure to the kids is hardly discussed. I'm really disgusted.